Michael Oher is a black teenager from a troubled family. He spent most of his childhood in shelters and on the streets. He tags along with his friend Stephen and Stephen's father, Big Tony, to a Christian school with a sports program, hoping to get enrolled. When they arrive, and Tony goes off to talk with the coach, the boys notice the basketball court and some balls. They're surprised they haven't been stolen yet.
Not even locked.
White people are crazy.
During the conversation, the coach says he doesn't make enrollment decisions and starts dodging the topic. But Tony insists and even offers money. He also manages to put in a word about Big Mike.
Babe, you only mentioned one son.
That's right, Stephen, but there's another boy.
Another boy.
Tony suggests the coach see them for himself. When he looks out the window, he's surprised to see Michael playing at an elite level despite his size. He lands 3-pointers effortlessly and even pulls off a dunk. The coach is visibly impressed, but the final decision about admission lies with the principal.
How bad could it be?
We're not exactly sure how old he is due to his lack of record.
The principal doesn't know what to do with a boy whose IQ is under 80. They don't even know his age. There are no official records. Seeing resistance from the academic staff, the coach reminds them that this is a Christian school. They're supposed to help every child. The next day, Big Mike comes to school in the same shirt and tattered sneakers. When he walks into the classroom, everyone turns to look at him in surprise.
It's Mike Oher, and he's new here, so I expect you all to make him feel welcome.
The teacher tells Michael to take a seat and hands out tests to check the student's knowledge. He looks around nervously, not knowing how to answer. When the bell rings, everyone hands in the tests and leaves, except Michael. He stays frozen in his seat. The teacher approaches him and notices that he didn't answer a single question. He only drew a little boat. That evening, we see the house where Michael has been crashing. He's lying on the couch, overhearing a conversation between Tony and his wife. She's upset that Michael keeps staying over and eating all their food. Tony says he'll figure something out.
What you want me to do? Go to Beale Street and drop him off somewhere?
When do I have time just to be with you?
All right, whatever. You win, I'll take care of it.
At a volleyball game, a woman walks briskly down the school hallway, talking heatedly on the phone. Her name is Leigh Anne, and she's there with her family to support her daughter, Collins.
What'd I miss?
It's girls' volleyball, Mom. You didn't miss anything.
After the game, her husband Sean notices a large black boy on the other side of the gym collecting leftover popcorn that spectators didn't finish. A month has passed since Michael enrolled, and the teachers are discussing how he still hasn't completed a single test. They think he's done, but the same teacher who gave him his first lesson stands up for him. She says he hardly speaks, he writes. She pulls out a paper Michael had thrown in the trash.
I have never done homework in my life.
Michael goes to a playground and greets some little girls, but they run away, scared of him. A boy named SJ notices and tells him he needs to smile more so people won't be afraid.
You're Big Mike, right?
He tells Michael about his dad, who used to be a sports star. Then SJ's mom pulls up and looks at Big Mike curiously. She asks her son,
Who is that, SJ?
Big Mike?
The school principal also comes to the playground and decides to talk to Michael. Recently, the news reported about a homeless man who had fallen from an overpass and died. It turns out that man was Michael's father. Michael himself can't even remember the last time he saw him.
I don't know.
Using his last bit of money, Michael goes to the laundromat to wash his Only Queen t-shirt. While he waits, he opens the textbook Mrs. Boswell gave him. Not long after, he takes his next test and passes with a satisfactory grade. Mrs. Boswell tells the teachers he isn't stupid. He listens well, remembers things quickly. He just needs a different approach.
But Big Mike is not stupid.
That evening, the Tuohy family is driving home from the school game when they see Michael standing in the pouring rain in the same old clothes.
Hey, Big Mike. Where you headed?
Jim?
Turns out, he was kicked out of the house where he was staying. He was headed to the school gym because it's warm. After driving a bit further, Leigh Anne realizes he has nowhere to sleep and tells her husband to turn around. She asks Michael if he has anywhere to stay. He shakes his head.
School gym's closed.
She decides to bring him home. As they pull up to the house, Michael looks out the window and sees a huge mansion for the first time. At the door, Collins is surprised to see such a guest, but says nothing. Leigh Anne sets him up on the couch in the living room. That night, the couple wonders if they did the right thing. What if he robs them? The next morning, Leigh Anne comes downstairs and sees the bedding neatly folded and Michael gone. She manages to stop him just in time and invites him to spend Thanksgiving with them.
Are you spending Thanksgiving with your family?
While everyone else watches the Super Bowl, Leigh Anne prepares a feast full of food Michael has never seen. Everyone piles their plates and rushes back to the TV. Only Michael, who hides a dinner roll in his pocket, sits at the dining table. Leigh Anne pauses, turns off the TVs, and calls everyone to eat properly at the table. Before the meal, they all join hands to say, "Grace." It's all new to Big Mike.
For all the many blessings on this family.
Leigh Anne notices his worn-out shirt and says they'll go shopping tomorrow for clothes. The next day, Leigh Anne keeps her promise and takes Michael shopping for clothes. A spare t-shirt in a plastic bag doesn't count as a wardrobe. But Michael says he has clothes. They're all at his old house in the ghetto. While driving, Leigh Anne asks him to tell her anything important she should know. He replies with one thing.
I don't like to be called Big Mike.
They arrive in the ghetto, the neighborhood where Michael grew up and where his troubled mother still lives. He has some belongings there. The locals immediately notice the shiny new Mercedes, so Michael insists on going in alone and tells Leigh Anne to stay in the car. A local gang leader greets Michael, but he only responds to one guy, David, possibly his brother. At his old front door, Michael finds an eviction notice. The place is locked up, and he doesn't know where his mother is now. Crushed, he sits down behind the house where Leigh Anne can't see him. Later, he returns to the car and lies, saying,
Should probably move to a nicer place.
They finally make it to a store for big and tall clothing. The selection is weak, so Leigh Anne lets Michael pick what he likes. She teaches him how to choose clothes properly.
So before you choose something, think of yourself wearing it. And say to yourself, is this me?
He picks a bright striped hoodie.
That's the one you like. Well, all right then.
The next day, Leigh Anne drops the kids off at school, and now we see that the Sorting Hat has placed Michael in Gryffindor. That evening, before bed, Leigh Anne asks Michael if he wants to stay with them long term. If he says yes, she'll start planning a proper bedroom for him, because the big guy already broke their $10,000 couch.
I don't want to go anyplace else.
The next morning, Leigh Anne visits the school and is shown the aptitude test results that all students take. Michael scored only 5% on learning potential, but a massive 98% in protective instinct.
Over here you have a desk, chest of drawers, you have a nightstand. Enough, so I got you one of those. Of course, the frame.
Now the boy has a new big bedroom. He's deeply grateful. He's never even had his own bed before. Leigh Anne is so moved by his words that she hides in another room to cry. At school, Michael starts doing better academically, and now that his grades have improved, he's allowed to join the football tryouts. To celebrate, the Tuohys take him to a fancy restaurant. When they arrive, Michael immediately recognizes one of the workers and gives him a big hug. It turns out to be his brother Marcus, but Michael doesn't even know where he lives. The last time he saw him, they were just little kids. That night, Leigh Anne reads a bedtime story to the kids. For Michael, it's the first time in his life someone reads him a story. She confesses that by taking Michael in, she didn't just change his life, she changed her own too.
I don't know, I'm just happy.
Time flies. It's Christmas. The family sends out a holiday photo card, now with their new family member. But some relatives have questions.
I'm just going to go ahead and ask. Did y'all know there's a colored boy in your Christmas card?
Leigh Anne's wealthy friends mock Michael, calling him King Kong, and suggest she's only helping him out of white guilt.
Right, like Jessica Lange and King Kong?
They ask if her daughter feels safe living under the same roof with such a big black guy. People like him are usually seen as dangerous, but Leigh Anne tells them that Michael changed her life.
No, he's changing mine.
She shames them. They have no idea what this boy has been through and walks out. Later, Leigh Anne talks to her daughter. Colin says she feels completely comfortable living with Michael, but she does mention that people at school say awful things about him. The next day, Michael returns to the playground. This time, the kids aren't scared. They ask him to push them on the swings. And in the library, Collins makes a statement by leaving her friends and sitting next to him.
Collins. You're looking at me like that. I mean, we studied together at home.
Finally, it's time for Michael's first football practice. With his size, he easily slams an opponent to the ground. But there's a problem. Michael knows nothing about football and keeps doing things wrong. He's more interested in balloons drifting into the sky than in the drills. Unlike foster kids who unleash their anger on the field, Michael is gentle. He wouldn't hurt a fly. The coach says if he doesn't improve, there's no football career for him. So, little SJ takes over Michael's training.
52. This way.
Everyone in the Tuohy family is athletic, so Michael trains hard. He doesn't want to let them down. One evening, he asks Leigh Anne to help him get a driver's license. Not because he wants to drive, he just wants to have one document with his name on it. But in the system, there's no record of a Michael Oher. That might not even be his real last name. Leigh Anne starts thinking about becoming his legal guardian.
Now you can tell me what you want. I can make sure you wait here all day. Now how can I help you?
I would like to become a legal guardian.
Lord help that child.
Social Services tells her that when Michael was 7, he was separated from his mother and siblings. She had at least 12 kids. Michael is already a ward of the state, so technically no one needs her permission. But Leigh Anne thinks that's not right. She decides to meet Michael's mother. She drives into the ghetto and starts asking around until she finds the right house.
Hi.
Michael's mom is shocked to hear he's living with a new family. She thought Leigh Anne was just a caseworker.
The state?
No.
The woman starts crying when she hears that a complete stranger took care of her son with no strings attached. She says his last name is Proctor, but then admits she made it up. She doesn't even remember who his father was. Michael's real last name is Williams. When Leigh Anne suggests a reunion, the biological mother refuses.
Like to see him?
No. Not this way.
Later, at a family meeting, Sean asks Michael if he's okay with them becoming his legal guardians. Michael looks surprised and says,
Kinda thought I already was.
Sometime later, Michael finally gets his driver's license, along with a brand new pickup truck as a gift. SJ keeps coaching him, using spice jars to explain football tactics. One day, SJ begs his mom to let Michael drive him to the store to buy a new video game.
Next day's function.
High-class lunch.
They're having fun, but Michael is still a new driver and gets distracted easily. He doesn't notice a truck pulling out and crashes into it. Leigh Anne is told her kids were in a crash. She rushes to the scene. The new pickup is totaled. Michael sits on the curb, devastated. No one was seriously hurt. SJ only has a busted lip. A cop explains to Leigh Anne that kids shouldn't ride in the front seat. The airbag explodes with such force it can shatter a child's facial bones. But SJ was barely scratched, because Michael instinctively threw his arm across him and blocked the airbag.
Michael, what happened to your arm?
Time passes after the accident. SJ keeps filming Michael's practices to help analyze his mistakes. But Michael is still struggling. The coach isn't getting through to him. He can't explain what he wants clearly.
I'm gonna get flagged and I'm gonna be pissed. You hear me?
That's when Leigh Anne steps in. She tells Michael that the team is his family, and he should protect them like he protected SJ from the airbag. It's like something clicks. Michael starts taking players down left and right. Now it's time to put his skills to the test in a real game against another high school team. The opposing players immediately start mocking him. One of them keeps provoking Michael, and he just stays quiet, a crusty redneck in the stands near the Lee. Anne joins in on the taunts. Unfortunately, Michael can't keep up with the fast, foul-mouthed player, who turns out to be that old man's son. He keeps outrunning our gentle giant. Leigh Anne tries to interfere again, this time by calling the coach on his cell. She loses her temper and cusses out the old racist man in the stands. The game is in full swing, and their chances of winning are slipping away. At one point, while Michael's down on the ground, number 66 kicks him in the helmet, and the ref ignores it. The coach yells that from now on, he'll protect Michael like his own son.
Don't worry, coach. I got you, babe.
Michael takes control. He tells the team to play gap.
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 He remembers Leigh Anne's words, that the team is his family.
Coach ain't here to protect him now, is he?
He pulls it together and steamrolls number 66, dragging him across the entire field. The team scores a point. That moment flips the momentum of the game. Michael keeps blocking one player after another. His team wins by a blowout. SJ records the best play on DVDs and mails them out to college teams across the country. Every single coach is blown away by the unstoppable force that is Michael. They all travel to the school to see him play live.
I came all the way from Knoxville to see it for myself.
Leigh Anne hates the Tennessee team, so she immediately tells the coach to turn him down. To prove himself, Michael is put up against another player. He flattens the guy without breaking a sweat. Everyone's impressed. Coaches grab their phones right away. Michael's future looks promising. But then comes a reality check. To qualify for college, his GPA must be at least 2.5. That means he has to get B's or better on all remaining assignments. So they decide to hire a tutor. Miss Sue tells Michael she believes in him, as long as he believes in himself. A coach from another college visits the family. The whole family welcomes him. At that point, they didn't know this would become a daily routine, with coaches constantly dropping by, each trying to recruit their star athlete.
University of South Carolina.
Leigh Anne to
Tuberville, Auburn University.
Leigh Anne to
Nut, University of Arkansas.
Leigh Anne to
Every coach claims that his team can make Michael a superstar.
The coin toss together. How's that sound?
All these meetings wear Michael out, and he still has to study hard. The season ends, and Michael leads his team to the private school championship. Leigh Anne dreams of him attending Ole Miss, so she whispers to a coach how to win Michael over. But the boy is leaning toward Tennessee, a school Leigh Anne despises. So she convinces Miss Sue to lie and tell Michael that the FBI hides rotting bodies under Tennessee's football fields.
The FBI, effects of soil on decomposing body parts.
Finally, it's decision time. The tutor's creepy story spooks the impressionable teen, and he picks Ole Miss. But good things never come easy. One teacher refuses to give Michael a grade above a D, which could ruin his college chances. The teacher says the only way to fix this is with a well-written essay. That night, Sean tells a heartfelt story and hands Michael a blank sheet to write on. In his essay, Michael thanks all the people who've supported him recently.
Have courage based on a dumb idea or a mistake. Supposed to question adults.
That touching essay helps push his GPA over 2.5, and now he can enroll in his chosen college.
Congratulations.
But another challenge awaits. Michael is summoned by an NCAA investigator. After Michael signed with Ole Miss, Coach Cotton got a job there. His guardian Sean played basketball there. His adoptive mom was a cheerleader there. Even Miss Sue went to Ole Miss. Basically, his guardians are acting like recruiters, and that could set a bad precedent. Schools might start adopting poor athletes to force them into playing for specific colleges. The investigator plants the idea that everything they did for him was just to get him into Ole Miss to help their team. The woman's words shake Michael. He runs off, upset, and no longer trusts Leigh Anne.
You do this for me.
What?
Everything.
That night, Michael doesn't come home. Leigh Anne wonders if she pushed him too hard, if she cared more about her goals than his. After the conversation, Michael returns to the ghetto to find his mom. But instead, he's met by a gang leader who lures him into a crack house, claiming his mom is coming for a fix. Michael's brother David has dropped out and joined the gang. One thug starts making crude jokes about Leigh Anne and her daughter.
Yeah, you tapped that, did you? Yeah.
Michael gets up to leave, but the gang leader threatens him with a gun. Michael doesn't flinch. He beats the gang members to a pulp, smashing them through furniture. He remembers being taken away from his family at 7. He doesn't want that life anymore. Leigh Anne drives into the neighborhood to find him. The gang leader threatens her and her adopted son. But Leigh Anne is a Republican, a member of the NRA, and always carries a pistol in her purse. She's not afraid of some punk. Just as she gets back in her car, Michael calls her.
Michael!
Mama?
He asks her to pick him up from the laundromat. Only now does she finally ask, does Michael even want to play football? And if he likes Tennessee, he can choose Tennessee. It's his decision, but Michael still chooses Ole Miss because that's where his whole family went, and he wants to be close to them.
My family goes to school.
Now, it's time to send Michael off to college. Leigh Anne cries again and hides in the car, but Michael asks her to get out and hugs her tight. She once read a short article about a 21-year-old athlete, raised without parents, who was killed in a gang fight. That day, she realized she'd done the right thing, because that boy could have been her son. Michael Oher became a top player at Ole Miss, and thanks to Miss Sue's support, earned his college degree. After graduation, Michael began his professional football career. In 2009, the film became a huge sensation. It told the true story of how a wealthy family took in a large teenager into their home. However, after the film's release, the real Michael Oher sued the Tuohy family. The athlete claimed that Sean and Leigh Anne Tuohy never adopted him. Instead, they allegedly forced him to sign a guardianship agreement that allowed them to make commercial deals in his name. The bone of contention, as one might guess, was money. The family profited from his name. Additionally, the film portrayed him as very stupid.